So hi, welcome back to the Noise Podcast. My name is Glory, and today I'm going to be doing a throwback review of Ice Nine Kills' 2014 record, The Predator Becomes the Prey. I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth with this review and probably the reviews going forward. This one is going to be a track by track, but if you want just the regular summary, I fucked with this album heavy. This record is absolutely immaculate, especially in the context of all their other records. I've been very critical of all of their records so far, but that's only because I hold them to such a high standard with how invested and how much I loved their two most recent records, The Silver Scream and Welcome to Horrorwood, The Silver Scream 2. Now, with this record, Predator Becomes the Prey, they are definitely taking a step in the right direction. This is the first record where it truly feels like it fits into their discography, and it truly feels like they're coming to form, really. So overall, main key points that apply to every song on this record before I go track by track. The guitar work on this record is shaping my expectations and my standards that I've held for Ink with my introduction, as I said, for Silver Scream and for Welcome to Horrorwood. Justin J.D. DeBlick deserves his flowers for the insane impact that he had on Ink's sound and overall tone. I definitely know that Dan Sugarman, who is currently the lead guitarist for Ice Nine Kills, has stepped into some pretty big shoes, and I do believe he fits those shoes very well. Shout out to Dan as well, but for this record, Justin deserves all the flowers. This shit is immaculate, and I believe the guitars are the highlight of this album. The songwriting on this record as well is unrecognizable in a good way. It feels like they are taking a more serious step towards, storytelling, being able to start and end a song without it feeling kind of loose-ended or, just kind of shit together. Because for the last couple records, that has been the running theme with the majority of their songs. It just feels like they just threw it together and said, fuck, I don't know, that's a song, right? That kind of sounds like a song. So, fuck yeah, the songwriting is absolutely incredible, as well as the production, and as well as not just the songwriting as the lyrics, but also the actual organization and layering of the instruments as well. Shout out to the bass. Bass is immaculate on this record as well. I mentioned that on a couple songs that I really liked, where it's really stood out. As mentioned with all the other records, Spencer's vocals have really never drifted far from what we know. That is an incredible thing. That just means from the very start, he was a powerhouse. He was able to tackle both the screams while also tackling just a beautiful voice for singing. So he was able to easily switch between the two and master that dynamic, which is, I don't want to say very rare. I feel like a lot of singers and vocalists can do that now. But holy shit, man. He's so good. He is incredible. Now, dick riding aside, let's start with the intro. The Power in Belief. I believe that this track is absolutely incredible. I think it is a very strong opener. Honestly, it is in the running for one of my favorite Ink openers so far. And the Welcome to Horrorwood intro is honestly one of my favorites. It has kind of like a trailer-esque. I'll get into that when the time comes, when I review Welcome to Horrorwood. The intro absolutely slaps you in the face. It is crazy. You cannot miss it. It is heavy, it is riffy, it grabs your attention, and it welcomes you into the record. It is an incredible introduction, and it definitely preps you for what to expect going further in. It does strongly remind me of Bring Me the Horizon's The House of Wolves. I listened to that immediately after listening to the record for the first time, and I went, Did anyone else see this? So that's really cool. I mean, it was a big thing at the time. I'm sure fucking everyone and their mother was influenced by Bring Me the Horizon. Up until now, even. They are a juggernaut in the scene. They are constantly exceeding, and I guess they're just fucking shit up. Constantly. I love Bring Me the Horizon, but this is not a Bring Me the Horizon review, but you get it. we did review Bring Me the Horizon. They were one of the first bands that we did. Full discography. If you would like to watch that, check it out on the channel. It's there. The second track, Let's Bury the Hatchet, ... In Your Head. They're so fucking corny. I love it. I love it. That's why I'm a fan. I think it's corny, and I think they lean into it, and I think that's fun. I believe that this is the most recognizable Ice Nine Kills song in their discography so far. I truly believe that this could fit into the Horrorwood franchise. It has literally everything you look for. It has those crazy little playful bouncy riffs. It has the screams. It has just the overall format of the song matches everything they're doing right now. So I think that's great. I really fuck with that song. The chorus is catchy as shit, which is something that they have now nailed for every song. The bass is so punchy, and it stands out, not like a sore thumb, but it stands out like they put just a beautiful spotlight on it. The bass is my favorite part on this track. It's so fucking good, and it supports the guitars in every single way. I love that track. The Coffin is Moving, the third track. This is the first corny sounding song on the record. We're 3 songs in, and they already got it done. This kind of feels like a older sibling of Savage's, which is on their second most recent record, The Silver Scream, which is my least favorite track off of Silver Scream. It's that kind of like radio rock, we're all in this together, we're all a little family type shit, where it's just kind of like, it's corny. It's corny as fuck. Bring the Horizon had the same thing, where I believe it was Throne, where it's kind of that corny radio rock. We all gotta have one of them. Every band has to have one of those. Ice Nine Kills just decided to put it third on the record. Fuck, where else are you gonna put it? As long as it's not the closer, I'm good. I fucked with it. Criticism aside, I did really like the lyrics on this track. I believe the storytelling was done very well. It's like loose enough where you can kind of piece together like, oh, he's talking about something, but it's not something that is overarching throughout the entire record. I really like it. There's genuine like anger and frustration that I believe you can feel in his vocals that translate to the lyrics as well. Fuck with that heavy. I have notes written here for each one, so I want you to see. So this is like the last ones. This is this is for the fastest way to a girl's heart is through her ribcage. So I have a couple points here, so bear with me. My first impression of this song was live, actually. I believe it was at one of the Silver Scream cons, or maybe it was one of the 20 times I've seen them live. I couldn't fucking tell you. I just remember the crowd went crazy, and I remember looking around like, guys, what's the big deal? Because at that point, I had only listened to Horrorwood and the Silver Scream 1. So I was excited. I was a little confused. Live, my first impression was, wow, this song sounds incredibly messy and unorganized, and I can't understand a single thing that anyone on stage is singing. The 3 vocalists that are up there, fuck, they're saying words. You fooled me. I had no fucking clue what they're saying. But granted, that could also be shelved as the mixing, the live mixing, that could be shelved as bad speakers, etc. Someone's mic being, not leveled properly. Fucking call it whatever. My first impression was, God, this sounds kind of awful. The studio version, however, I think this shit is incredible. The screams and cleans have a perfect balance. I think that Spencer's screams on this track especially stand out. I think it is one of the catchiest tracks on the record, and there's a reason why. It is probably the second or third biggest track. It is the biggest track by a lot. It's a lot, by at least like 10 million streams. So there's a reason why that this is the biggest fucking track on the record. I think this is one of the most iconic Ice Nine Kills songs ever. I think this was one of their biggest tracks when they first came out. Obviously, they have gotten bigger since then, but in this era, 2014, this was their big track. The strings that are in the backing of this track, I think, add to kind of the playful and eerie feeling that this track has, where obviously you could tell that this song, by the title, maybe isn't like the sweetest and cutest little song ever. I think it fucks. And I think that the strings add to that level of, oh wow, this sounds really good, but what is he saying to me right now? Is anyone gonna check that out? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think that the chorus on this track especially is a standout chorus. I think that this is yet another song off the record that could easily fit into any of their more recent works. I'm talking, Horrorwood, Silver Scream, etc. I think this shit fucks, and I think it is timeless. Great track. Their other track, A Product of Hate, number 5. I feel like this one it starts and then it jumps into a lackluster chorus very quickly. This song feels weird, kind of unfinished. It does not feel like it's ready. It needed a couple more minutes, simmering a little bit. I'm obsessed with the techie glitches that are kind of in the middle of the track. I love that shit. It does remind me of my expectations for one of their more recent songs, whatever the fuck it's called, the Matrix one. I was expecting a lot of glitches like this. So this one to me felt more Matrixy, only because of the glitches. Lyrically, this shit is kind of like their first political or oppressive song where they're talking about, being discriminated, being judged for how you look, being oppressed in some way, society moving backwards and feeling helpless in that. It's a sad fucking song when you read the lyrics, but sonically I feel like this song matches kind of the Matrixy tone that they were going for with one of their most recent tracks. It's not their most recent now, they just dropped the Laugh track, which I'm not a fan of. Anyways, then you have Connect the Cuts, which is their 6th track off of this record. I feel like the intro is absolutely insane. I feel like this is the heaviest Ink has been so far in their discography. Obviously, they get heavier. You have Take Your Pick. That track is their heaviest song, because I believe that has Corpse Grinder on it. But this song is absolutely fucking balls to the wall, insane heavy shit. I love it. The breakdown is 30 seconds in. It reminds me of Throne, not in the tone or the actual sound, but just how quick we got there. I believe the chorus is catchy, but I can't focus on it because I just know there's another breakdown coming. And the second one is just as good as the first one. So I kind of forgot that there was a chorus because I was just like, fuck, I want to hear that breakdown again. And then it happened again and I went, let's take it from the top. Let's repeat that one. I fucked with that so heavy. Jonathan, their 7th track on this record. It is a very nostalgic feeling track. It's kind of early 2000s metalcore-ish, where it's the slower track off the record, but it still has some upbeat or heavier moments. I feel like knowing the meaning behind this song makes it feel a lot more personal, and a lot more intimate to listen to. So I'm unable to get kind of like lost in the song sonically, as my brain is already too focused on the lyrics and kind of the true story behind it. To summarize, the song is about a close friend of Spencer's who lost his vision. The song is incredibly sad, but god, this shit fucks. It's a great song, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then their 8th track, What I Never Learned in Study Hall. This is a re-release of their track that they dropped off their last record, which was 4 years ago, the 2010 record. And they did the same thing that they did on the 2010 record, where they re-released The Greatest Story Ever Told. The only difference between this one and the one that they dropped on their 2010 is that this is featuring Tyler Carter from Issues. I was very excited because I love Tyler Carter's vocals. I have never gotten into Issues, but on all the tracks that he's featured on and the couple Issue songs that I've dabbled in, I've dipped my little toe into, I've always walked away from it like, goddamn, this guy's got some pipes. This guy's fucking crazy. He can riff like crazy. Oh my god, his runs are insane. So I got more than excited seeing this man on this album. So fuck, my expectations, unfortunately, were not met. Tyler adds absolutely gorgeous vocals to, like, I believe it's like the last chorus, after his introduction, after his verse, but I feel like it was wasted potential. Wasted talent to have such an incredible, especially in this era, 2014, the 2010s, where Issues was, they were blowing the fuck up, right? His verse left me wanting more. It was very forgettable. I feel like it did not harness his vocals. It didn't give him any opportunity to really show off his vocals at all. That was really disappointing, because I saw it and I got so fucking hyped, and it wasn't what I wanted. It was not Tyler Carter from Issues. I feel like anyone could have done that verse. It didn't feel like it was his true representation of him. It just kind of fucking sucked, and it was upsetting. Other than that, I mean, I liked the song. I've reviewed the song already. It's just a re-release with a new feature. Why are they doing this again? And putting it on an album? You know, it makes you think like, oh my god, it's a 11-track album with 11 new tracks. No, it's 10 new tracks and a re-release of something you guys have had for 4 years. You know? Kind of fucking weird. It's fine. So, next one is So the next one is So Long, Stephen Long. This song is my least favorite off of the record, which honestly, fuck, you guys had a good run. That is 9 songs in, and I'm just now saying I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. This one kind of sucked. I love the breakdown at the halfway point of the song, and the one at the end are really the only things from saving this song from being bad in my book. Other than that, it's just very forgettable. The breakdowns, crazy, it really perked my ears up both times that I listened to this record. But other than that, I could not tell you what happened in this track. This shit kind of blew. But as I said, they got the breakdowns down on this record. But yeah, this one was just kind of fucking forgettable. I honestly, if it wasn't on my list, I would have just been like, I don't remember this song at all, but I do remember the breakdowns, and that shit fucked. That shit had me headbanging a little bit. I fuck with it. What Lies Beneath, their 10th track, we're almost done, don't worry. What Lies Beneath, I believe that this one had a really pop-sounding intro. It stood out. This one, more like a sore thumb, but because I do like pop music, I do like pop rock, metalcore mixed with a little bit of like tech, you know, just kind of like brighter sounding metalcore stuff. Not everything needs to be growly and screamy and dark and fucking gory and blah blah. No. It's okay to have a little pop girly moment, and they did. They had a cute little pop girly moment with this song, and I love it. The pop intro led into some really heavy vocals to completely balance that, so they didn't get lost in the sauce. They didn't make fucking espresso Sabrina Carpenter song. They didn't make a Can't Blame a Girl for Trying Sabrina Carpenter song. That's real fans. That was for real fans of Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not a fan. I like that track, though. It was like 2010 or something. I was a baby. I think the chorus for this track is a perfect balance between the screams and the beautiful vocals. And then also there was kind of this dynamic that was happening with 2 of the screaming vocals, which I believe I mentioned before it's JD, which is Justin, the lead guitarist, and Spencer, who do the main chunk of the screams on these records so far until JD leaves. I believe it's in the next 2 records. It's fine. It's fine. We move. He's with Motionless in White now, so we're good. We're good. But there's this dynamic that happens between them where it feels like they're fighting. It feels like there's just a back and forth, and it's so fierce, and it's so fucking gnarly, and I love it. This track also has my favorite guitars on the record. They are unforgettable. The climbing and the picking of the strings is so just addicting. I love it. It is like that stereotypical Ice Nine Kills song, but it is that perfect picking and oh god, just listen to it and that is like the perfect introduction to Ice Nine Kills guitars. This is like, if you want to set your expectations for what to expect with the band, listen to this song, What Lies Beneath, the 10th track off this record, and that is what you should expect from Ice Nine Kills. If they do anything less than that, fuck them. They're done. Alright, you feel me? I'm letting you know now. We're all agreeing to that right now. My Life in Two, which is the final and 11th track off this record. This intro kind of feels like an homage to their first album, where it was kind of pop punky, Blink-182. The intro feels like Blink-182. It feels like that era. I believe Fall Out Boy's first record, if you want to call it their first record, it was Evening Out with Your Ex-Girlfriend. The joke is eating out your ex-girlfriend. Everyone kind of had that sound, but this definitely feels like an homage to kind of their older sound. Something for the people, the true fans, the real fans. The only thing is, this is like the least heaviest track off the record. Their first record was more pop-punky, was more Blink-182-ish. It still had breakdowns, it still had heavy parts, and the lyrics were still gory and gross and really weird and made you kind of raise an eyebrow at them a little bit. This is not that. This is the radio song, in my opinion. This is the most radio-friendly track off the album. I believe it is the least streamed song, or one of the least streamed songs off the record. There's really nothing notable about this song, in my opinion. It's just kind of there. You feel me? It's just there. I feel like it ends very abruptly as well, which sucks because the intro to this album was so big and was so jarring that this track just kind of ended, and it feels like it just kind of fizzled out, and it was weird, especially because it was not super heavy. It was very radio friendly. It felt a bit soulless. Not the biggest fan. Other than that, fuck, I thought that this record was absolutely incredible. I am a major fan. This is one of my favorite Ink records at the moment, and that is with Horrorwood and Silver Scream in mind. I'm so excited to continue on. Next week, I will be reviewing their next album in their discography, which is Every Trick in the Book. I'm very excited. That is their 2015 album. They had a year in between. Let's get to it. I'm so excited. This next album is one that I have been meaning to listen to, but I've put off for the past 4 years. So it should be good. I'm excited. Hell yeah. So as I said, that is everything. Tune in next week. There are also plenty more reviews to go check out if you're interested, and stay tuned for next week. I have been Glory, and this has been the Good Noise Podcast. Bye!